Welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, about to take a look at our most recent Path of Preview article. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content. So, as we start off with sneak hordes of Corsairs behind enemy lines with IYANDEN's pirate, Prince Yriel. And if you're not familiar with Prince Yriel, he is a character model available and a pirate leader from the IYANDEN craft world. So let's take a look. Prince Yriel of IYANDEN is one of the most famous pirate lords in the galaxy, a legend whose exploits have inspired many an adventurous Eldari into a life of high-stakes swashbuckling. He's no mere myth, however. He's a former Autarch of craft world IYANDEN who now leads his magnificent band of Corsairs. Known as Unrathe in the Eldari tongue, to glory in the upcoming Codex Eldari. So here we see the model. This one is currently available. I'm not sure that they will be remaking this model or anything. I believe this is fine cast now. It was originally, I believe, a metal model. In his youth, Yriel was chosen to walk the path of command and become an Autarch, but his illustrious career was cut short when he rashly left IYANDEN open to attack from Chaos Raiders. Censored, his pride drove him to abandon his craft world with many faithful warriors in tow, forming the Eldritch Raiders Corsair fleet. Now, thanks to his life as a Corsair prince, Yriel's strategic skills are sharpened to razor's edge, and he commands his army with the acumen of an Autarch. In fact, his path of command ability is more expansive than usual, affecting units with the Unrathe keyword in addition to the usual core. So obviously, IYANDEN core, that is one of the craft worlds. That's the Wraith construct, yellow craft world. And then Unrathe is the term that they are using for the Corsairs. That is the Corsair keyword. So for the Path of Command ability, it is an aura. While friendly IYANDEN core or Unrathe infantry units are within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, reroll hit rolls of 1. So for the IYANDEN core, we're not sure exactly what that's going to do, but previous editions, the core units were actually like Wraith constructs. So we may see like Wraith Guard and Wraith Blades as their core units, maybe even like Wraith Lords. So he will give rerolls of 1 on attacks for those units, in addition to all the Corsairs, because it does not say Unrathe core units. So it's going to be anyone with the Unrathe keyword. So that will be other characters, himself, and then of course like any other Corsair units that should happen, including potentially if they have vehicles or anything like that. So, oh no, I'm sorry, it does say Unrathe infantry. It does say infantry. So if it is a infantry character, it will. For the Corsairs also it will, but not for vehicles. That's my mistake. So reroll 1s to hit. That is obviously a good ability. Hit and run raids are a Corsair's specialty, using raw speed to strike with overwhelming force, and Yriel's ability is not limited to the Unrathe. And everyone from Aspect Warriors to the Wraith Guard can hitch a ride with the Prince of Corsairs. The Eldari have an arsenal of powerful close-range weapons, and getting to deploy them within arm's length of their targets makes for a potent advantage. So we see the Prince of Corsairs ability next. Before the battle, when placing units in strategic reserve, if your army contains this model, you can have the power rating of IYANDEN infantry units and Unrathe units for the purpose of determining the combined power rating of units placed into strategic reserves. So by allowing you to half the power rating of the ones that you place in reserve, it essentially lets you have twice as much reserve units. So compared to any other similar army, you can have double the reserves. So that's going to allow you some tactical flexibility for like deep striking or outflanking or any of those other abilities for tactical reserves. Could be very strong, depending what the actual units look like. For the Corsairs, we know obviously that there's some key units that, IYANDEN units or Wraith construct units, that if you have them outflank or the ability to deep strike with them, starting them very close to your enemy could be huge. I mean, having the devastating firepower and then close combat abilities of some of these Wraith construct units could be outstanding. And then on top of that, depending how the rules work out and everything for the Corsairs as well, could be a phenomenal ability right here. We don't quite know yet. If his skill stopped at being brilliant tactician, Yriel would be dangerous enough, but command is far from his only talent. When a Tyrannid high fleet came to his former home, the outcast prince returned as a whirlwind of death, sweeping aside the largest of monsters with the Spear of Twilight. To this day, he can still put a shift in with it. So the Spear of Twilight, melee weapon, ×2 strength, AP -3, damage 3. So assuming he has 3 strength, which he is just an elf, that would give him 6 strength with AP -3, 3 damage. If by some chance, which seems unlikely, he has strength 4, that would put him at strength 8 and be very good. But at this point in time, I would assume he's strength 3, so he's still going to have some difficulty wounding most vehicles and most like monstrous creatures. If, however, he has strength 4 and it doubles to 8, that's going to give him 3s to wound anything like 7 and under, or 4s on, toughness 8 like heavy vehicles and real tough targets. So we'll see. Definitely could go either way. I don't know if he'll have anything to benefit his strength, but ×2 strength is obviously very good, -3 and 3 damage. Yriel is an excellent pick as Warlord, especially if you include Corsairs, and Wratha units don't prevent an Eldari detachment from accessing their powerful Strands of Fate ability, so you can slot them into an army whenever you like without losing access to deadly army-wide abilities. So that is a very important statement or sentence right there. There was some speculation that the Corsairs or possibly Harlequins would make you lose the Strands of Fate ability even if they didn't have access to it. So this basically confirms that Corsairs and Harlequins will not have access to the Strands of Fate ability, but by taking them in your army or in your detachment, they will not limit your ability to use the Strands of Fate on the rest of your army. So that is a very big deal and makes you much more likely to take them alongside of an Eldari army. Very nice to know that, although we did obviously suspect that already. Mixing wily Corsairs into the ranks of tough Wraith units is peak IYANDEN and adds a diverse splash of color to your massed yellow legions. There's a lot more to come from the upcoming Codex Eldari as we get closer to the release, so blah 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 blah. Does not say when the Codex is coming. Obviously these models look absolutely phenomenal. Not sure how this is going to work out in 40k as of now. I mean, I love the unit, I love how they look, and I love the diversity for kill team. It's definitely perfect kill team. The whole pirate vibe and the mixed unit and everything. Not sure how it's going to work out for 40k. I mean, they have a combination of strong pistol weapons. They have a warlock, which could buff the unit, which is nice. And then on top of that, they have like 2 to 3 hand-to-hand combat equipped models, including one with a warp jump generator from what we think so far, and a couple blades. So, a mix between the close fighting, assault, the close shooting, and then of course we have a combination of heavy weapons as well. So we see they have basically 2 like special weapons, and then they have the shuriken, cannon, and the sniper. So we basically have like a complete mix like of combat, close range shooting, mid-range shooting, and then long-range shooting with a warlock in there as well. So quite the mix. Typically, I find that most units are better off like specialized. It's not like this is going to be some jack of all trades type unit that is like super durable and able to just perform any combat role. Typically units like this, especially ones that are fragile and that are like using an outflank rule or deep strike or some other form of reserves, typically they want to like hit hard because they're going to get wiped or they need to wipe something out so that they can stay alive. We'll have to see how it all works out. I don't know if this is going to be a great unit in 40k. I don't know how awesome any of this is going to be. So far, it's complete speculation. I really like the models. I really like the idea of, like the Space Pirate Corsair bros. Could be some nice units that are kind of cheap and lots of bodies to go along with IYANDEN to kind of like bulk out your army, because most of the constructs are fairly expensive and low model count. We'll have to see. We really don't know a ton about these guys yet, but I know that they are freaking awesome. I don't know specifically what craft world I'm going to play yet. I played Beltan back in the day. Always liked Samhan And obviously the IYANDEN had some really cool rules previously as well. So we'll have to see. You know, Althway is super cool as well. Eldred Ultherin is obviously an awesome character. I do like the black armor and everything. So I'm still up in the air. I'm going to wait and see. I will probably not choose the best based on rules. I'm probably going to choose them based on like model or army composition, as well as like flavor and looks. So could go either way for me, but I am really, really liking these Corsair models. I really like Prince Yriel. If they come out with him in plastic, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Not too confident that that will happen. Maybe I'll do a conversion and do like a video on that as well. Let me know what you think. Are you sort of leaning towards one craft world or another? Are you already playing a craft world? Are you thinking about doing a full Corsairs army? I'm curious what other people's thoughts are on this. If there's any particular units that are like auto includes for you so far, or if you're still kind of up in the air. I know for a fact I'm going to have some Corsairs. I absolutely love these models. I will be doing up a kill team, so they will 100% be incorporated into my 40k army as well. And I'm definitely going to have probably one squad of all the aspect warriors. So I think it probably makes sense for me to play Bael'tan, because the aspect warriors in previous editions have been like your troops or your objective secured. So I would really like to do basically one of each squad of the aspect warriors, and then the Phoenix Lords. Obviously maybe not be able to fit all this in 2,000 points, but an Avatar, a unit of Corsairs, and then probably a couple other like key units like some Psychers and stuff like that. Probably going to go a little light on the vehicles. Maybe just do a couple up just because it'll be fun to paint and model them. But I think I'm going to go more towards like the aspect warriors and the kind of Phoenix Lords. Again, but I'm not optimizing my army for, you know, winning. I'm building it to be like super cool and mass Eldari. So, but that's it for today. Let me know what you think. Always like to hear your guys' opinions. Appreciate all the positivity. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and Warcry content. I do videos like this where I do reactions and reviews of rules, news, everything from the unboxings, and then of course we're a commission-based studio, so we show off all the commissions as they come out of house. And then I do a ton of tutorials on how to build, convert, paint, magnetize, all kinds of lighting tutorials, crafting, customizations, pretty much anything tabletop related I put out on the channel. So if you haven't checked out some of those older videos, highly recommend you take a look at them, as well as always list off like the colors and techniques used to achieve the various effects. So that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.